Hey, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you're having a blessed day wherever in the world you are. Welcome to PEP Talk, the podcast. We give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God, where we take all these interesting health and wellness conversations that you're seeing on TV, on social media, and maybe even hearing from your doctor. And we break them down into small, easily understandable, digestible portions. And then we give you action steps that you can take to improve your life and the quality of your family's life. And just like many of the other physicians that are following and watching this podcast daily, you're able to take this information back to your patient community and help improve the patients' lives that you serve. So I'm your host, Dr. Eric Naputi. I'm a private practicing physician now for over 20 years in the field of functional medicine and functional neurology, helping people get to the root cause of their problems with our test, not guess philosophy. We're all about measuring your brain function, measuring your gut function, measuring your microbiome, measuring your cell function, making sure that through precise diagnostics that we can have precise therapeutics to help improve the quality and function of your life and of your health. I want to continue a conversation that we talked about before on Pep Talk, but I want to dive a little deeper into it. And look, you guys are seeing all over social media, you're seeing all these influencers talking about NAD and NAD plus and talking about the benefits of it. And they're looking younger, feeling younger, living longer. You know, the anti-aging gurus, the biohackers, and the longevity experts are really excited about NAD and NAD plus. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you can do with it. Let's talk about other things that NAD affects and what things you can do to improve NAD function in your life from a simple, cost-effective standpoint. Listen, I'm a huge fan of NAD. I've been doing NAD myself for years. We offer it in our private practice clinics that I own and operate. But we also are able to offer NAD orally and injectably to individuals all across the globe through the protocols that we use. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the notes, the deep dive, the good, the bad, the ugly with NAD. So let's talk a little bit about NAD+. So NAD+ stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. That's why we say NAD, because it's a mouthful, all right? It's a coenzyme found in every single cell of your body. Every cell has this coenzyme in it, and it plays a critical role in energy metabolism, ATP function, and mitochondrial function in the body. Remember, you hear me talk all the time about mitochondrial dysfunction. That is a serious pandemic. That's a serious epidemic that is plaguing humanity today. And most doctors don't even know what it is. Most people have no idea why they have it. Most people don't even know they do have it, but it's the reason why you are aging acceleratedly. It's why you feel like crap. It's why you look like crap. And it's the reason why, people are having so many problems today. So let's get into this. It also helps with DNA repair, which is a huge part of what we discuss. We know that you can't be healthy unless your DNA is expressing to your cells like it's supposed to. And really, NAD plus acts as the currency transfer, if you will. That's what I like to refer to as. It's the NAD plus is the currency transfer of really like transferring electrons and during the metabolic reactions in your body to produce ATP through the Krebs cycle, which is the energy source for your cells, which is the energy source for you, which if you don't have enough of, you don't exist and you die. As we age, like most things, NAD levels decline. But if you take some of the right action steps and you supplement exogenously with NAD, then you can improve it. Now, here's the deal. Most NAD, if you take it orally, will not absorb. It will not absorb. Now, there's some very unique NAD that's out there that we use that does absorb. It's all about the size and the cofactors that go with it. We'll get into that a little bit in just a minute. But, okay, listen, NAD plus, it decreases as we age, all right? It is a central component to metabolism and epigenetic regulation. Let me explain that. Epigenes are the genes that turn on and turn off based off of stress and our body's inability or ability to deal with that stress. For example, the BRCA gene. The BRCA gene is the gene that can potentially be an epigene for breast cancer. That gene can turn on and turn off based off of stress and lifestyle. Just because you have that gene does not mean that gene's going to express negatively. if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't live your lifestyle based off of your genetic code that everybody can get a test for and find that out. It's a one and done type deal. Now, epigenetics is different. Your genes are going to change from an epigenetic standpoint, and you can measure that regularly. You can measure that. I measure my epigenes every 12 to 14 months. So let's talk about NAD, the good benefits of it. All right, man. First of all, NAD plus is essential for glycolysis and something called the citric acid cycle and the oxidative phosphorylation cycle as well. So it's involved in a lot of the biochemical and organic chemical processes of the body to work. It's involved in every single cell of the body, which is where all the adenosine triphosphate or ATP or energy is produced in your body. It repairs your DNA. Listen to this. NAD activates what's called poly-ADP ribose, which and a polymerase enzyme, which are enzymes involved in repairing the DNA damage. Our DNA gets damaged every day by the physical, chemical, and emotional stresses that we are dealing with. NAD plus helps repair that. Okay. It also deals with something called the sirtuin activation. Sirtuins are NAD plus dependent enzymes that regulate cellular health, inflammation, and aging. Sirtuins, they modulate or regulate genes in our body. So we have our code, but our code is modulated by chemical signals. And NAD plus is one of those, and it improves mitochondrial function. And I'm telling you, the reason why your get up and go got up and went is because your mitochondria is not functioning. I don't care what supplements you take or things that you do. If you don't get your mitochondrial working, it's not going to work like it's supposed to. You know, people that eat well and exercise, but they still don't look better, feel better, and function better. It's a mitochondrial problem. It helps with oxidative stress. NAD supports glutathione production. Let me say that again. NAD supports glutathione production. Your body's master antioxidant is what glutathione is known as. And it helps reduce the damage, the oxidative damage caused by, stress, physical, chemical, and emotional stress caused by the chemicals in the air, the crap in our food, the emotional stress, the EMF and electromagnetic therapy or pollution that you're exposed to, and the emotional self-talk that you deal with. That's oxidative stress. The NAD plus helps support the glutathione pathway. NAD is also neuroprotective. Look, NAD levels are critical for brain health, supporting neuron survival, synaptic plasticity, neuroplasticity, and neuro repair. I pair NAD a lot with other peptides that we prescribe, things like dihexa, things like testofen. Really important to have NAD with those because of obvious reasons. They work on the same pathway. NAD plus is also has some anti-inflammatory properties to it. It helps deal. It inhibits some of the pro-inflammatory pathways of things like N-alpha K8 and interleukin 6 and other TNF alpha kind of deals. It just reduces cellular inflammation, which is good. It also improves metabolism. Let's talk about that. NAD plus levels help enhance insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance destroys our body's ability to absorb nutrients, destroys your body's ability to produce mitochondrial support, which is producing ATP. NAD plus restores the levels and enhances insulin sensitivity. So it helps get rid of insulin resistance. Well, let's talk about some of the bad, because there are bad. There could be some potential stimulus of certain compounds that you're doing. If you're doing IVs of NAD, which is the most potent and the best absorbable form of NAD, it's also the most expensive. Some people are spending $500 to $1,000 for NAD IVs. Very expensive. And that can be done every couple of months. Some people do it regularly than that. I like low dose oral or low dose injectable NAD. But it could, from an IV standpoint, you need to make sure that you don't have any tumors or cancer in your body. Now, doing it orally is a whole different ballgame, and doing it from an insulin needle is a different ballgame as well. But it can cause issues for individuals for cancer cell and increased production. Very, very rare, but we need to discuss it. it could look NAD precursors like NMN. So NMN is nicotinamide ribosine is NMN. It's it requires they're required to replenish NAD. So I put NMN in most of the formulas I do for like nootropics. NMN is a phenomenal product. 250 milligrams. Some people take 1,000 milligrams of NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, or NR, which is nucleotinamide ribosome, are required to replenish NAD. So it's important that you don't run out of those. Mismanagement or improper dosage of that can cause metabolic issues. So just be aware of that. That's why they should be taken properly, like formulated. And a lot of times with other cofactors. It can cause gastrointestinal issues in some cases, like flushiness, nauseousness, or diarrhea. And NAD has limited bioavailability from an oral standpoint, unless it has a certain size to it. There are certain ways to manufacture NAD that actually makes it orally as bioavailable as an IV is, almost, okay, which is powerful. Sublingual is a good delivery system. IV's the best. Okay. Some of the ugly, there's just lack of long-term data. I mean, NAD's been around for a long time, but we haven't studied it for decades. Okay. It's expensive. All right. Some of these IVs that people do, you can do intermuscular or subcutaneous injections for like $300 to $400 a month. You can do IVs for $500 to $1,000 a pop. Or you can do sublingual NAD, but it has to be a really specific type. And there are genetic variabilities, like some SNPs that people might have. Like there's a SNP. I'll just give you a couple SNPs. There's a couple SNPs if you have on your genetic profile that are sirtuin pathway SNPs, like SIRT1 and SIRT3. You definitely need to be taking NAD. And a simple test can tell you if you have that. Bottom line is, if you have accelerated aging from a genetic standpoint, NMN, NAD, and B3 niacin, the real niacin, not the no-flesh niacinamide, could really, really make a big difference. I like mixing NAD with a couple peptides as well. It goes really well with BPC 157. Those go together really good. It goes amazing with tesofin, and goes really good with dihexa. It also goes really good with the SLU workout in a bottle peptide. It's the SLU PP 332 peptide. NAD and glutathione are always really good to take together. NAD fuels and recycles the glutathione pathways. Declining NAD levels do impair glutathione. So having enough NAD in your body does help with that. Supplementing glutathione to me is just as powerful. If I had to choose between getting an IV of glutathione or NAD, and the price was the concern, I would do glutathione. But if I can get my hands on good NAD, and I do sublingual NAD, that works. NMN is a precursor to NAD. So NMN is a precursor. So is B3. And then you got those precursors. Then you've got NAD, and then that makes glutathione. So I'm a big fan of utilizing all those as you can. And again, B3 niacin, very, very powerful. B12, but it has to be methylcobalamin. 500 micrograms to 1,000 micrograms a day works synergistically with NAD to support methylation and energy production. If you're taking NAD plus, get off of all gluten. So if you have MTHFR or methylation genetic imbalances, NAD plus would be really beneficial for you. Some of the genes that are problematic with this is MTHFR gene. If you have the nicotinamide phosphoribotrain, which is the NAMPT gene, then you definitely need to be supplementing with this. And then the SIRT1 we talked about, and the SIRT2 gene. There's another one called CD38 gene. The CD38 gene is an NAD plus consuming enzyme, and the overactivity of that can deplete NAD rapidly. So on the test that we use, which is BioLimitless Discovering DNA test, measures 800,000 different SNPs, and that tells us those genes. If you have accelerated physical decline with aging, or accelerated skin decline with aging, or accelerated, breakdown with aging genetically, NAD plus, NMN, and B3 and B9 plus the enzymes, or the peptides I recommended earlier, dihexa and testofen, are really beneficial for those. So in summary, NAD is critical for energy production, DNA repair, cellular health, gut microbiome health. It really is powerful. And I would highly encourage you to do some research on NAD plus. I wouldn't run out and start doing a bunch of NAD IVs. A lot of people don't feel very good after they do those because their other pathways for detoxification are not open. The methylation issues are problematic. So start by changing your lifestyle. Start by adding some of the pre-factors and some of the post-factors, like glutathione, like B3 niacin, like B12 methylcobalamin, some of the amino acids that we discussed that are in the peptides, like dihexa and testofen. All those mixed together with low dose oral absorbable NAD, powerful combination. So look, I know that there's a lot of information out there, good, bad, and ugly, about NAD. I'm a huge fan of it. If you don't have it, you die. As we get older, it depletes, which accelerates the aging process. So from a cellular, anti-aging, and a longevity standpoint, NAD is powerful. So look, here's what I want you to do. Go back, re-listen to this, share this with your friends, family members, and loved ones. If you're looking for more energy, if you're looking to live a longer, happier, healthier, more productive cellular and genetic expressive life, NAD plus is something you should consider. Go to our website. That's peptalk.world, peptalk.world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Look, folks, there's a lot of great things happening in the health and wellness world right now, but censorship is still as high as it's ever been, and the truth will set you free. And we need your help getting the truth out there. You're going to help us help other people. And that's what we're all about here at Pep Talk. Remember, knowledge is power, but wisdom is taking that knowledge and applying it to your life. So folks, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless the world. Stay smart out there, and I'll see you soon. Be well.